Time to load up the dance floor once again with another raving house record at number 4 on my fantasy playlist. Actually, number 3. We're closing in at number 1. Number 3 on this fantasy playlist, up 5 from number 8. Mat.Joe. Mat.Joe with Dancing, Dancing, Dancing. And boy, the song, this tune lives up to its name because they'll get you dancing on the sidewalks. You'd just going down the street, getting out on night. It's a great night clubbing record. Good one to listen to on the radio, although obviously probably made more for clubbing than as opposed to being on the radio. But I'll go into more of that in just a minute as far as radio formats is concerned, because I like to hear this on the radio. This will really be a nice addition on a radio playlist as far as getting people energized and pumped up and like, yeah, I'm ready to take on life listening to a record like this. This is an American sounding record. It is straight up. The vocals on this record, straight up soul. Almost sounds a bit like Martha Wash a little bit, who used to sing on some dance records in the past. She was formerly with the Weather Girls, but I'm not sure. They might have sampled an old R&B song, but still, basically, these guys are from Germany. 2 guys from Germany, Matt and Mat.Joe. It's Matitza and Johan. I got the pronunciations online, so I hope they're correct pronunciations. And they started out in Hanover. Well, actually, they met around 2006, maybe a little bit earlier than 2006. Both of these guys, they had major compatibility. They were into rap, skateboarding, and breakdancing. Boy, breakdancing. Now, that brings back the 80s right there. Reminds me of that song by Irene Cara, Breakdancing. But let's get back into the 2000s, actually, because in 2008, they formed a production team. They were producing tracks, house R&B tracks, hip-hop tracks for independent artists. But they wanted to expand their creative vision. They wanted more room to build on their creative vision. To do that, they had to move to a bigger city. So they moved from Hanover to Berlin. They did the MySpace thing. They put together mixtapes. Over a period of time, they developed a unique style of combining house with hip-hop and R&B. And they draw inspiration. This is not their only track, by the way. They draw their inspiration from a variety of ordinary experiences or ordinary things that happen each day. Subway rides, singing in the shower, or late night showers, or drawing inspiration from clubbing or going to their favorite bars, and they'd take their ideas and religiously commit those ideas to a smartphone, store them on a smartphone. And boy, I tell you what, this record right here, Dancin', 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 paced by a driving backbeat, and it builds to a synthesizer that supports those soulful vocals. Even though these 2 guys are from Germany, the intricate vocals and chorus arrangements are directly aligned. The chorus arrangements directly aligned with old school R&B, old school American soulful singing. And it's just a great merge. This is one classic merge of house and R&B music. It is perfect. It can go down in the American market. As a matter of fact, when I first heard this track several months ago, boy, this was one hell of a find. Really I was like, man, I like this. This is a fine addition to the Spotify playlist. I tell you what, if you like working out, this is a great workout record. If you're trying to think if there's something else let's talk about the radio formats for this record. The radio formats obviously will be BPM and EDM. Pop radio, well, I like to say that you can put this on a pop radio station, but again, you just go into this resistance, particularly in the States, of a lot of people who just don't want to hear house music on their radio. They'll dance to it at the nightclub, but not necessarily listening to it morning or afternoon on a pop radio station. Although this could go well on a mixed tape, say like on a Saturday night show on a pop station. A mixed tape, just mixing it with remixes of some of the more popular records. And this is really meant, this is retrofitted for the American market. There's no doubt about it. I thought this record originated from here in the States. It sounds like something that would be cooked up in it's Miami, Detroit, or New York City. But gosh dog it, I tell you what, those Europeans, as I mentioned before, they got this American market down. A lot of those folks overseas, they understand this American R&B, and they're giving it back to us. And so it comes with this record at number 5 on my fantasy playlist, Mat.Joe, Matissa, and Johan. I thought it was Johan. But anyway, the song is called Dancin, Dancin, Dancing at number 5 on my fantasy playlist of May the 8th, 2022.